Hi, I'm Danny Butler, and in a second, we're going riding on a new bike, because this is TrialTube. Yep, that's right, I've had a Sherco. Now, honestly, there's no one more surprised right now during this episode than me. I didn't expect to be on the Blue Machine, but I thought, screw it. When I rode it, I quite liked it. And now that I've built one, when I say built one, I mean we've built one that is to my liking, I feel like I'm going to start to really like it, because it's got all of this on it so far. Bit of blue for the Dans. Now, this bit of blue has already had a few upgrades going on. We've already been down to see Doc Wob, which we're going to cut to now, if you don't know who Doc Wob is.
Oh yeah, Rob here from Doc Wob. For those of you who don't know, we own a titanium bolt company. We supply most of the factory teams at motocross races. We're getting into America quite big now with Ken Roxon. We supply factory KTM, factory Gas, factory Husqvarna, factory Yamaha, factory Kawasaki. We supply 8 out of 10 cats deserve it. So we have got most of the Grand Prix teams. Danny from TrialTube has bought us this new STR Sherco 300. We're going to try and replace some of these chocolate bolts with something a bit nicer. Trials bike kits are something we're going to get into. We've got most of the stuff in stock because it's halfway between a trials bike and, well, a mountain bike and a motocross bike. So we're going to have to make some stuff, but that's not an issue. So we're just seeing what we've got that will fit out. This is supposed to be one of the lightest bikes. We'll see if we can make it just a bit lighter and just a bit nicer.
So after getting riddled in titanium, obviously we've changed the forks. We've changed the bar pad. No, I know that's not a big difference, but it's made a huge difference to the fact that that bar pad actually used to be Albert Cabestani's bar pad. Don't tell Albert, he won't be very happy about that. And we've put some Kashimas at the front of it because it looks pretty. And we've got more to come on this bike as well. We've got some S3 controls. Obviously put some rental grips on there, and not the Domino ones, which we don't like. S3 bar ends, which we do like. By the way, all these parts I've bought, so this isn't some sort of advert for S3. But S3, if you are listening, then John, you know where I am, John. And most importantly, I really like the colour. I know that sounds mental, but it looks amazing on camera. Bit of a colour shift from green. I do have some new Sora kit coming as well, which will, well, yeah, it will definitely go with the bike. And what can I say? I wanted to stay fuel injected. I do like a gasser. I still really like a gas. But right now, is the gas one of, if not the best new two-stroke on the market? And the answer is yes. For a little while, why not? And this bike looks so good.
Okay, let's party.
So here we go, cold start. I know that the camera doesn't show temperature, but you know, you'll just have to take my word for it, liar. So it's supposedly one kick to prime, and then one kick to get it going, no throttle. Got it now. Now you're not going to believe this, but we're going to set a section, just like we always do on TrialTube, and we're going to talk through the bike. Today we're at a venue that I know really well, Whitemore Farm. It's where we did the testing for the Beta Dream build. If you haven't seen that video yet, then you know what to do. And yeah, we're going to put the new STR Sherco through its paces. I've got a lovely little section that's got some technical, some jumps, and a nice big step at the end. So, well, here we go. Right, here we go. Hot start. Bugger. No, don't kick it like a big... Never mind. Nearly said something that got me in trouble on the internet then. It is a technique, I promise. A technique that I no longer or do not yet have. It's alright, it's alright. I'm just doing some section gardening. It's alright. Don't worry. Everybody can see this. Save the planet. One two-stroke at a time. Start of the section. Up. A nice big undercut step towards the sun. Can't see too much plant life. There we go, through the foliage. And the Sherco is famous for having a slack head angle, which means that it doesn't hop as easy, but rolling off things is, yeah, it's lovely. Really powerful though, and the clutch is super positive, as you can see there. So, into position. Now, the lightweight nature of this new bike, which is, what's the word for it? Overly light. It's like hopping around a mountain bike, and I've done a bit of that. It's so light. Now we've got this nice little undercut step. I say nice and little, there's nothing nice about it, it's undercut, and you've got to travel when you land on it because it's got like a dry moss on. So just a little tweak of the clutch there, still setting the bike up. I've already decided that I'm going to move the bars back a tiny bit and possibly move the back brake down a little bit as well. But she's new. This is the first ever outing, by the way. Oh yes! And this bike really is like moving a mountain bike round. It's that light. Whether it's well set up suspension by yours truly, or the fact that this Sherco has lost almost 5 kilos from last year's model. There's going on a diet and then literally just blatantly refusing to eat. Gearbox feeling pretty solid, clutch super responsive, honestly. So nice little undercut step. Still getting used to it though. Oh my God! Woo! That was a surprising amount of grip there on a very mossy rock. In case you're wondering, I'm not finished in the section, and that's why I haven't put my feet down yet. But I just realised something. It's better coming up there in first than it is in second. Because in second, it was tearing my arms out my shoulders. As you can tell by my slight amount of... I promise I'm not that fat, I promise. It's that light and nimble and powerful that it's just bloody good fun. Really good fun. Right, here we go. Red hot start. Not a 5. Nice technical corner now. The bike does feel slightly longer than its predecessor, which I know that it is. And again, is it going to go around this corner nice and nimble like? Now, a few things I've noticed straight away, because I wasn't chatting throughout the section then, because to be honest, although it doesn't look big on camera, this section, if you get close up it gets bigger. There's a joke in there somewhere. Now, this bike is truly light, powerful, responsive, with a surprising bottom end that I didn't feel when I tested it in the last video. Because, let's be honest, next to Road and Trials, we were being friendly. Now, I'm not being friendly anymore. A few things that I've already been caught out on. The pegs, the standard Sherco pegs, are so grippy that I won't be changing them for anything else. I'll be staying on the standard pegs. The bar angle, which I thought I needed to tip my bars further forward because of the rake of the forks on the Sherco, isn't as bad as what it was on the previous model. So what I need to do now is bring them back to my original bar position. The bike's, shall we say, cockpit area feels large. There's plenty of room. So you don't really need to tip the bars that far forward. I'm a tall guy, but I know I do a lot of hopping and bopping, but I do still feel like I've got quite an old school off the back style, as long as I'm not riding too much like a push bike rider. And you know what? I think we're gonna get on. I really think we're gonna get on. This bike was not my obvious choice of what comes next. But thanks to the guys at Road and Trials and Sherco, I think it's going to go okay, you know. Red hot start. Bugger. There we go. We're going to be friends. Oh, actually, quick one. None of the airbox digs in you because it's nice and smooth. Today I'm also sporting some Gurn boots, you'll notice, which I haven't worn Gurn boots since I was about 12 years old. But honestly, they feel like slippers as soon as you get into them. Advantage, they already feel worn in. Disadvantage, how are they going to feel when they're worn in? Think about that. They look cool though. Yellow. No, no again. Yes. Woo, buddy. Now remember, pick up your TrialTube merch, because it's flying at you. Well, flying at me anyway. But so far so good. The hoodies have been well received. They're nice and thick. I know it's summertime here in the UK, but they're the kind of thing that wicks sweat away and isn't too testy on your wallet during the cost of living crisis. They really support the channel, and we really appreciate all the support, I promise. Talking about support, a huge thank you goes out to the guys at Road and Trials for sorting out this monster, and also you'll see my JBR for sale in their shop imminently. Quite fit, aren't you? Oh, come on. I know we're going to be friends. Now, very quickly, I thought it'd be a good idea, seeing as we've been out and done a bit of riding, to very quickly interject before the end of this episode and before we show you what's coming up later, to wash the bike, because, well, I haven't washed a Sherco before, so this is going to be new. Right, I've done this in the past before. Things you're going to need to wash a trials bike: hot soapy water, hose pipe power wash is better, and elbow grease. That's the one. Now, I've had a little look around this, and I can't seem to find anywhere where there's any like big air intakes like the Vertigo. So I think I'm just going to like crack on and see where we get. Obviously, I'm going to try and stay away from all the electrics because they do seem to be quite exposed, but they all seem to be sealed up and inside, oh yeah, extra sealed areas. They're waterproof connections, as I've been told in the past. But yeah, anywhere where there's connections that I can see sticking out and exposed, I'm obviously going to stay away from them. Common sense. And I know the bike doesn't look dirty, but I have had a little look inside the airbox already. The air filter wasn't dirty-ish, but I'm going to be cleaning that. And how does this? Oh, there we go. So it seems to just go on with these two little tabs. And the airbox is pretty clean in all fairness, but we're going to come back to that in a little bit. And don't worry, I'll make sure that it's all sealed up before I wash it, so don't panic in the comments. That's the main wash done, but that's not really done. Now get it on the floor, get underneath it, and do it all again. And today's washing products are Slick Whips. So thanks again to Phil and the team up there for hooking us up with their incredible cleaning products. If you haven't tried them yet, they're available at Road and Trials and all stockists. So yeah, Slick Whips. Oh, by the way, this isn't an advert. This is just, it's a brand that I've found that is quite good. So obviously they give me a little bit of discount, but not like, you know, they're good. You know, get over it. Genuinely my favourite bit of cleaning a bike, this bit is. Woo! Great success. Now I don't really know if this is a thing, but I do this after, you know, washing a fuel injected bike anyway, simply because of all the electrics and stuff like that. So wet start, just let the bike warm up, get to temperature, tell me that it's hot, and then well, that's something I used to do on my Vertigo, so I feel like I should do it on this now. Whatever. Quick one, there's a little bit on the airbox that drains any water out, so I checked it earlier on, it was dry, but you know, you never know, do you? Oh, screw it, shall we just check to see if there's anything in it? Well, I power washed it, and so far, so good, dry as a bone. One to prime. Another one to prime to be sure. Proper one. Right, so after you've done all that washing and warming and all that malarkey, then it's time to go around the bike and replace any bits of lubricant that's been lost. Today I'm going to be using the slick whips, sorry, chain lube. As you can see, the cans are a little bit battered because I've been using them. So yeah, I'm going to be using that. It's got a nifty little lid on as well. Oh. And the maintenance spray for any of the small moving parts, and then around any of the electrics, because I don't want them to damage, just the silicone shine, which obviously helps keep any water out and stuff like that, and makes your bike look like, well, it's a different name for silicone shine in the industry. It's called the bull spray. That's right, the bull spray. It's called the bull spray. It's not going to let me do it, is it, on camera? But never mind. So yeah, bit of this, bit of that, around all the moving parts. Normally I'd sort out the linkage and make sure there's plenty of grease in there as well. I use a marine grease, it's white grease, obviously it keeps the water out. Do the wheel axles with that one as well. I'm probably going to get told it's the wrong grease to use, but I've used it for years since I was a kid and it seems to do a bloody good job. And you'll never hear my bike squeaking unnecessarily at a trial, so whatever. Right, after all of that cleaning, break the tools out and do a nut and bolt check. That's right. Check that things haven't vibrated loose. And then after you've done all of this tightening and polishing and cleaning and good prep, you can go and get it dirty again. But before we do that, just a quick one. I thought it'd be important for me to address the fact of why I've changed bikes. And if you've watched the video up till now, thank you, and remember to like, share and subscribe. Now, the reason why I've changed bikes is to keep the content fresh, and the guys at Road and Trials have been incredible with a bit of support in my changeover. By the way, you can find my JBR for sale in their shop now. And last but not least, nothing against Vertigo, but, well, just a bit quicker on the uptake from Sherco, really. There you go. Also, I just fancied a change. We might have another one soon. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's TrialTube, as, well, we've had a lot of things going on and we thought we'd come back with an episode that was a bit of a banger. I've had a new bike with lots of new parts on, and in our next episode we're going to be focusing on a classic. When I say a classic, I mean a legend. And it doesn't get more legendary than the build of this Yamaha Godden TY Majesty 200. And the attention to detail to make sure that this bike was original is just insane. And the fact that this bike is actually completely brand new. That's right, next TrialTube, a brand new Yamaha Majesty.